the world on fire.
In January 1933, Adolf Hitler, leader of the German Nazi Party, gained a majority in the Reichstag and became elected Chancellor of Germany. Over the years he consolidated his power to have complete control over the country, which at this point was called the Third Reich. Part of what made him so successful was the disastrous Treaty of Versailles and the flawed Weimar Constitution. These enabled him to come to power. He was also charismatic and masterfully used propaganda to further his cause, such as holding giant party rallies. One picture by Pablo Picasso, Guernica, depicts the horror of the Spanish Civil War during the bombing by the Axis.
I don't get it.
At the Munich conference, Hitler was given control of Sudetenland in Czechoslovakia.
Hitler's a guy we could do business with.
On August 23, 1939, Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union entered a non-aggressive pact with a secret agreement to divide Poland up amongst themselves, and on the 1st of September, Hitler invaded Poland. 2 days after this happened, France and Britain declared war, and Hitler became a wanted man. With Hitler in northern France, Mussolini's forces were invading southern France. Within 2 months, France surrendered, and southern France was now Vichy France, in cooperation with the Nazis. Britain was now left alone, and Hitler took the opportunity to strike at the islands. His first moves were aerial strikes carried out by the Luftwaffe. In Hitler's quest for Lebensraum, or living space for the German people, he turned his back on previous ally Russia, and in May he prepared to invade. Unfortunately, Mussolini needed help in Greece and North Africa when he invaded out of jealousy for Hitler not letting him annex part of France. By the time the Germans got to Russia, it was too late to avoid the Russian winter. In the December of that year, the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor, bringing America into the war. This further opened the Pacific theater of the war. One of America's strategies in the Pacific was to capture island by island and set up bases until they could get the Japanese within range of their bombs, so they could take them out. As time went on, things in Europe became increasingly worse for Hitler. His armies in the Eastern Front had begun to retreat back west, starting with the disastrous Battle of Stalingrad. His North African campaign was failing as the British pushed back Rommel into retreat. Fascist Italy had been taken by the Allies and Mussolini was no longer in control. Operation Overlord began on June 6, 1944, with the landings on Normandy. Even his generals and advisors were unhappy with how he was commanding his forces. There were a total of 42 attempts to assassinate Hitler during his rule. Here are a few. The Russians pushed further west. On April 30th, 1945, they were within a couple of blocks of the Reich Chancellery. On that day, Hitler killed himself inside his bunker, and many of his close allies in the government and military also committed suicide. 2 days later, Germany surrendered. On August 6th and 9th in 1945, the United States dropped atomic bombs on Japanese cities Hiroshima and Nagasaki. On August 15th, Japan surrendered, effectively ending World War II.